This episode is brought to you by the Walker Law Firm out of Beaumont, Texas. With 3 generations of legal expertise, they're known for their honesty, integrity, and commitment to getting great results. Whether you need help with family law, criminal defense, or personal injury, I can promise you, these guys got your back. Visit www.walkerlawtx.com.
Yeah.
All right. Hello and welcome to the Spacejumper Podcast. My name is Jared, and I am your host. I have 2 special individuals in the house today. They are doing some amazing things when it comes to clean products, and I really am excited to talk to you guys because I think that you are doing some really cool things, and it's almost like the new movement, the new health movement. So give a round of applause to Jon and Kelly.
Thanks for having us, man.
Yeah, thank you for coming. I know I asked you guys this earlier, but it was small talk. So the drive wasn't too bad?
No,
on a Sunday.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, I was expecting it to be more rough on a Sunday, but it was pretty good.
Yeah. Usually anything around 11, 12 in this area specifically, it's like, depending on if the Texans are playing.
Yeah. You been to Siphon Coffee?
I haven't.
Dude,
no.
Is
it local?
Yeah, it's like 10 minutes from here.
Yeah, it's not too far. It's so good.
Oh,
yeah.
really?
So good.
We had to stop there before. You should try to get that owner on too.
Really?
He's a cool
Siphon
dude.
Coffee. Okay.
Siphon
Yeah.
Coffee, yeah.
Very
Shout
cool,
out to
yeah.
Siphon.
Yep.
Shout out to that's hard to say actually.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Siphon. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's actually a coffee shop down here that's usually my go-to. It's called Catalina Coffee, and they get all their beans, or they roast all their beans in-house, and they always pull different coffee beans from different parts of the world, and
Nice.
and it's always a different selection. So as soon as I went there, I was like, I don't have to try any more coffee spots, But I mean, I'm a big fan of coffee, and lately, honestly, I've been really enjoying some matcha. I know people have mixed opinions on matcha, but man, a nice matcha latte with like some oat milk or something, it's so good.
Hits the spot, dude.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, that's good.
But why don't we go ahead and talk about what it is you guys, what it is. Oh my God, it's Sunday.
Yeah,
we've been
all good.
why don't you go ahead and explain to people what it is that y'all do?
Okay. You want to do it?
Okay, so we wanted to provide a skincare line that was clean. So Jon got into this journey a couple of years ago of working out and becoming healthy, and it started with him using tallow to cook with.
Oh wow.
And eating clean, and then he lotions up all the time. I need to be better about it, but
Right.
I got
all
that
the
ashy skin,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah, same.
And then he was looking at his lotion and was like, God, there's all this crap in here. And he's an avid Joe Rogan listener. So
Yeah, shout out to Rogan, by the way. He's the best in the business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's pretty awesome. And so, I don't know, one of their episodes, they were talking about tallow and using it for cooking and skincare and pretty much anything you can think of. And so we started experimenting with tallow and essential oils and using it on our skin. And at first it was just a him use kind of thing. And then it turned into, let's make a business.
Wow. That's always how the best ones start.
A little background. Our daughter, our oldest daughter, she was 15 or 14 at the time, and she's breaking out really bad. And she came downstairs and she was like, "What? I don't know what to do. Why am I breaking out?" And at the time, that's when I was trying to eliminate everything that was toxic in the house. So we were getting away from Teflon pans. We were starting to cook with stainless steel. Like we were just on this like journey, right?
Right.
So I was like, well, bring what you're using downstairs and let's take a look. So she brought down like 2 things and we looked at the ingredients, and every ingredient was largely made at a company that we both work at. So we both work in we work for one of the largest chemical manufacturers in the world. And we know how those products are made, what kind of safety precautions the operators have to take in order to handle those chemicals that are highly toxic, that go into packaging rail cars or packaging totes or little containers. And then at the end of the line, they get put into this little container for girls and men to put all over their face. So we looked at those ingredients and I was like, holy crap. Am I allowed to cuss on here?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I'm about to slay it. I was like, holy shit. Like what you're literally rubbing like poison all over your face.
Right.
So that night I Googled what Native Americans used for skincare.
Right.
And they used animal fat. And we started digging in. This is like a 30-minute, like I was just looking at it and she was like, oh, we used, or the internet was like tallow. Every ancient civilization throughout time used animal fats for skincare. They made soaps, they made candles, they made skin protectant, and they used plant oils for bug repellent, natural bug repellent and stuff. So we just started digging in on this stuff, and we landed on tallow. We had tallow in the house because we stopped cooking in canola oil and everything like that. So we just
that's big too. Yeah,
we just had it, and we started using it, and we noticed pretty significant results. I think a couple of months after we started using it, our daughter got bit by a spider, and just for shits and giggles, we rubbed tallow on her, and it was a pretty significant bump that she had on her eye.
Right.
And within I don't know, I always exaggerate, but I would say an hour, right?
Yeah, about an hour.
Within an hour
of rubbing tallow
it was just
the area.
It was just tallow, which is packed with all the essential vitamins that our skin craves. The swelling reduced to almost nothing within 30 minutes. Wow. 45, 30 minutes, whatever it was.
Right.
And I was like, oh, damn. And then another time that sticks out was when our friend was breaking out with hives in the back of her neck. And all we had was chapstick. We just had started SigNature Touch, and we were trying to sell people on it and make them more open to using animal fats. And she had a bunch of a big rash on the back of her neck. So Kelly just had the chapstick, which just has tallow, beeswax, and then it's lightly scented with essential oils.
Wow.
And she rubbed it on her neck. And then by the time we got home, which was 20 minutes, it was...
she sent me pictures and it was gone.
Yeah.
She had some kind of hives going on. And she's like, hey, do you have any tallow? She had just shown up to work. This is another one of our favorite coffee shops. We're frequent coffee goers.
Yeah,
and all I had was that chapstick, and I gave it to her, and then we left, and she sent me pictures of her neck before and after, and it was gone.
It was pretty wild, man. So that, those two events for us, for me,
can't be a coincidence.
Yeah, solidified. Okay, we should definitely dive in hardcore on this. And it's nothing new. We're not reinventing the wheel. This is things that every our ancestors, you're somewhere down the line, your great grandma probably used the exact same thing. Right. So I like to always say it's we're not reinventing the wheel, we're just bringing it back.
Right. And it also takes time to make these products too, and it takes time and effort. So, when I saw what you guys are doing, because years ago, I would put on deodorant or whatever, and my arms they just wouldn't feel, and come to find out, I took aluminum out of, I would get the aluminum free. I started getting aluminum free deodorant, and man, it's like nothing now, it's how I imagined it should have been,
Yeah.
So I saw that you guys do, deodorant and chapstick and things like that. And, the idea of making something that's friendly for your body to use is great, because, these days I think everything is just so mass produced to get it out fast and effective that it doesn't really matter. They don't care, not, taking pride and care into the health of the customers, And so that's what I really like that you guys are doing. And you said that this is a veteran-owned business. Is that correct?
It is.
Wow. Did both of you guys surf?
Mm-mm.
I love that question. It's so funny. Well, we go to farmers markets frequently, or we go do big events, and there's a veteran-owned sign. Of course, I go straight to him, and he has to go. It was her.
Yeah.
Wasn't me.
Yeah, you do seem like you have a little military vibe to you, though.
It's all rubbed off from her.
He's so confident and good at talking, you would think.
Right.
No, it's totally opposite.
Well, amazing. Well, thank you for your service, by the way. Well, are you able to talk about your time there?
How absolutely. Well, I served, I did one term, so almost 4 years in the Army as a unit supply specialist.
Wow. How was that? Was it a fun time? I mean,
It
I'm
was.
sure you guys stayed busy. It was probably always had something to do.
Yeah, for the most part. There was a lot of, getting out of doing things too.
Right. Yeah. Like anything else, you know?
Anybody that knows specialists, they call it the sham shield because you hide behind it and do.
Nice.
Yeah, get
What
out
is
of work.
so where were you based at? Were you in the US?
Yeah, so I got stationed at Fort Riley, Kansas.
Okay. Oh, okay. Wow.
Middle of nowhere.
Yeah, I was about to
There's
say.
absolutely nothing out there. You leave the little town that's there. There's Junction City at one end, then there's Fort Riley, and then there's a college town.
Wow.
And outside of that, there's nothing for miles.
Wow. I have some family that live out in Kansas, and they're like, yeah, there's nothing here.
There's
You know,
nothing.
I think they do some farming and stuff out there,
Yeah.
but that's about it. You know.
Yeah.
Which is different than Houston. You know, you come over here and there's everything. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, you drive and drive and drive, and you're going in and out of cities, and there's always something to do. You know.
Not there.
So,
It's, although I was surprised when I drove there for the first time. I expected it to be completely flat. When you get towards like the middle of Kansas, it's not just flat land. Like it's kind of like rolling hills.
Really?
It's kind of cool.
Have you ever been to Montana? Any of you guys?
No, we
No.
want to go there.
I want to go so bad. I was about to say I haven't been either, but I heard it was just so beautiful. I've seen photos and some of the best like country or the Western movies that I used to watch were based out of Montana. I was like,
Yeah.
man, I have to go out there. You know, it just like it's the terrain. It's like I think it creates the vibe. You know.
We just went to Washington State.
Oh, really?
And seen Olympic National Park, and that was amazing.
Really, man,
Beautiful.
I haven't been to any national parks. I think when I was young, I went with my family, but it's on my list. I would love to go through and check off all the national parks and go check them out. You know, I had some friends that went to Arches National Park over in Utah last year, and they sent me some photos, and it was just so beautiful. I mean, it's amazing that that's even on this earth, you know.
Yeah.
And so the traveling is on the list, but. And life just gets busy sometimes,
Yeah.
you know. So
Yeah. Well, I understood that.
yeah. Well, how when it went to the development of this business, I know you kind of just started for personal reasons, and then it kind of popped off. So when during the development of that, like what were y'all's thoughts? Like how did this business come about? You just had the products and you were just like, I bet we could do this, you know? Were people like, interested in buying these products, or was this just a personal journey?
Like, God, so this was like what 2022 or something like that.
Yeah.
And at the time, on social media, I was following like all these like carnivore people.
Right.
So the carnivore community, I don't know if you follow any of them on social media, but
Right.
there wasn't a whole lot of tallow skincare products at the time. There was like a couple of brands. So at the time I was like, oh man, I think we could fill a little gap here. But I truly think we were like a month or like 6 months to 12 months too late. Cause then once we started it, dude, all of these companies started popping off, dude,
Wow.
just everywhere.
Tallow-based.
Tallow-based or just animal-based skincare. Or they started like redirecting how they're marketing their company. So there are a lot of companies that are tallow-based, and which is a good thing because I think that serves a good purpose, and that's introducing people to truly non-toxic products. But there are companies, like we hear it all the time. There's people that order stuff off Amazon that they don't even look like tallow. We had one lady bring us
The tallow she ordered off
yeah.
Amazon, and we're looking at it. I was like, that doesn't look right. And then I smelled it. It smelled like straight lotion.
Ooh.
yeah. So I think yeah,
I don't think she got tallow.
I think you have to if you're interested in natural skincare products, you just got to be wary about where you're buying it from, because just because you're buying it off of Amazon doesn't mean that it's reputable. I always like to tell people, like, if you can't make it yourself, like, because we're pretty transparent of how we make it, so we share like what goes in it, the process of making tallow, how we bottle it, and all that good stuff. If you can't make it yourself, then there's probably someone near you making it that you could buy it from. Someone in your town who's making it.
Right.
And if you can't find them, then you can order from us. Like, that's what we're like to tell people. I'd honestly rather someone throw away their whatever Jergens lotion and buy from someone near them if they have the opportunity.
Right. So what is the process of this thing? Like, I mean, when you're going in, I mean, I know tallow is y'all's base ingredient.
Right.
And are y'all sourcing y'all's tallow from anywhere specific? I mean, I know that there's people like out of Austin, like the Ungovernable Project. I'm aware of those guys. And companies like this that are also here for the fight against, toxic products.
Right. We are trying to source locally as much as possible.
Oh, very cool.
The one caveat to that is that there's not a lot of ranchers that are selling it in bulk around us. So there are a few that we're able to buy from here and there, but there's not a lot of ranchers buying or selling tallow in bulk right now, and that's just here in Texas. We haven't really reached out to anyone outside of Texas.
Is that hard to make yourself, or is it hard to?
It's just long.
So to actually get tallow to render it is a long process. You have to melt it down, and then you have to separate it from the water, and you have to do that a few times over to get tallow that doesn't smell like beef.
Right. Wow.
Liquid gold is what people call it.
Yeah.
Really? Man, I have a good friend, Harrison, and he's the one that kind of introduced me to the Ungovernable Project, and then I had talked to Victoria Faraz, and she had told me about you guys. We actually talked about y'all on our virtual podcast, and she was like, "You got to check these guys out." Yeah,
she's awesome.
And that goes back to appreciating the fact that people care about what they are putting in their body or on their body, because it seriously affects people, and so I had talked to her, man. I went and got some, and also I want to get y'all's opinion. What I was going to say is I went and got some like HEB store-bought tallow and duck fat. What are you guys' opinion on that? Because it didn't, I don't know about y'all's experience, but it wasn't the same as I would think. It was kind of, I don't know.
So you have to watch out. That was one of the first mistakes we made when we were just making it for ourselves. We were at his parents' house and for over Christmas, and we were making some, and we were trying different essential oils, and his mom's like, "This smells like beef fat," and John's like, "No, it doesn't."
I was so pissed. I was like, "No, it doesn't."
You're just saying that, and it did. It had a weird smell to it, and we're buying the cans or the jars that HEB sold,
right.
And that's what we had been buying to cook with, and we didn't think anything of it. And then I was like, "Yeah, your mom's right. It kind of smells a little funky, but maybe that's just how it is." And we got back home, and I actually looked at the jar, and it said tallow, and then they added natural flavors, and I was like, "Oh, that's probably not good. You don't even know what that is. What is a natural flavor?"
What is natural beef flavor? It's literally titled natural beef flavoring. So I was like, what the hell is that? So we went and bought one at Academy, another brand.
Right.
Yeah, it was just pure tallow.
It was just pure tallow. We made it, and it was significantly different.
Really?
I was like, oh, this is what it's actually supposed to feel like.
Well, and you said you got that one where?
Academy.
Yeah, there's a brand. I forget what it's called. Was it Epic?
I don't remember. They have Wagyu tallow and all sorts.
I didn't think that Academy sold tallow.
Dude, Academy's.
Yeah, over in their grill section.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
With all their spices and stuff.
Interesting. I'm gonna have to go check it out just for fun. Because like I said, I have some duck fat and beef tallow, probably with the beef flavoring. You know? But I definitely appreciate people being healthy, and I love y'all shirts, by the way. Are these available on y'all's website?
Yeah. We saw some merch too.
I love that. Yeah. I like my products like I like my people, non-toxic. I love that. That's hilarious.
Nope.
Not vegan
we brought
friendly.
you one too.
What? No way.
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
The definition of tallow.
I'm the beefy moisturizing hug your skin never knew it needed. It's like lotion, but with a befriending touch. I love that. Yeah, I love that. I'm gonna wear it.
Appreciate it, man.
No,
Yeah, I can't be serious anywhere I go.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's just the. I think that's the only way to enjoy this crazy world. You know, with so much happening with politics and even the idea of social media is a little toxic too. You know, I mean. Yeah, I have nieces and nephews, and every time I see them, man, they're in it wherever they're at,
Yep.
And I feel like that could probably damage somebody's mental health, especially if they're comparing themselves to all these models on there, or even myself, following all these like big podcasts. I'm like, dang, like I wish I had it like that, But at the end of the day, it just I think you got to kind of separate your journey from other people's, and that it's along with being healthy. I'm in the process of getting rid of all my plastic wares and things like that, and only moving to glass containers and because I wasn't, when I was younger, to be completely honest, I wasn't aware of or cared what I put in my body.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'll drink Coca-Cola, I'll do this, I'll do that, and lately I've been trying to cut down on my sugar, trying to exercise, because it's a big deal. I mean, you only have one body.
Yep.
I think it's a new thing.
Yeah.
Being healthy.
A new move. Yeah.
And now they're finding, all these like Teflon. Like, I mean, we knew 10, 20 years ago, whatever it was that they found out that it was causing cancer.
Right.
But like, it's all still new. Like all
Right.
these things that they did in the 80s, 90s, whatever. Now it's coming back to like bite us.
Right. And now they're introducing even more stuff. So now we have the vapes to worry about. All the, the kids
All
are
this
on these
crap,
vapes.
dude.
Yeah. And,
Yep.
and so, it's very, like I said, we only get one body,
Yeah.
and so, I think being aware, another thing that had always bothered me, and I don't know if this has been proven or anything. It's just like something in my mind. I'm like, oof. But if you go get takeout or something, and they put like your hot food in a styrofoam container, you pull the container open, and the styrofoam's like melted, and it's
dude.
man, like people are like eating that, and
People put that in the microwave.
exactly, yeah, I've seen that, and it's disturbing,
not good.
But
It's not good.
and that's the thing. It seems like everything out here these days is trying to, not trying to, but ends up damaging your body in some form or fashion. The microplastics are a big one, and things like that. So
I feel like it's just convenience. Like we
Absolutely.
strive to make everything convenient, and that's why I tell our daughters all the time. We have 2 older girls, and I always tell them, like, if it's convenient, it's probably not the best way to do it. Anything that's worth doing is not going to be convenient.
right, exactly.
So like whether it's plastic bottles or plastic, cookware or whatever, I feel like those things were put in place by large companies to make a lot of money. And I don't think it was done with ill intent or malice. Like, we're going to kill the American population, or we're going to hurt people. I just think that they wanted to make it convenient for people. And now we're starting to realize everything, like y'all just said, that, okay, let's take a step back and let's see what we could actually do to address some of this. So I feel like our position is just to educate people about these things. Not only about like skincare, but also about like what you're putting in your body. Because,
Sure.
Someone, people will come up and like, does this help with acne? Or does this, will this fix my acne? Because I bought this cream, but it didn't help. And what we've learned over like the last 3 or 4 years is what you put in your body is probably more important than what you put on your body, or just as important. Mm-hmm. So that if you're consuming sugar and processed foods and drinking Coke all the time, you're probably not going to have the healthy skin that you want. And tallow is not going to fix that.
Right.
It's only, we look at tallow like a supplement.
Right.
Like the skincare, you want non-toxic skincare because you want to take care of your skin, and you don't want to like put in propylene glycol or any kind of acidic stuff on your skin. what you put in your body is also just as important, if not more important, I think. Because the whole like the whole idea of like deodorant and stuff, this is like in the carnivore community too, and something that I test out too is if I'm eating clean, then I don't need to put deodorant on. If I and yeah, am I gonna smell like Old Spice? No, like Old Spice is gonna make you smell pretty good, right?
Sure.
But if you're eating clean and like staying away from processed foods and stuff, you're not gonna sweat. Your sweat's not going to smell.
Right? Isn't that weird how your body responds to the bad foods that you eat?
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's trying to expel all
Right.
those things that it's not going to use. And where's it going to come out? Your sweat, your pores, acne.
Right.
So,
When our daughter eats clean for a couple of weeks, because then it doesn't last. Like we're not like strict parents, right? We
I think we eat clean for the most
Oh,
part,
yeah,
but
yeah.
we're not like hardcore. Like you
Right.
can't have anything. Obviously, I have a latte here. I can't give it up.
Right.
But we try to like we don't buy a ton of sugary foods, but I like sweet tea, so I have that.
Ooh.
Like
I like some sweet tea.
It's
Oh, yeah.
it's not good for you, but in hindsight, it's better than having 20 different sodas.
Right. Exactly.
So
Yeah.
it's like we pick and choose our battles, and we have, fresh fruit, and we don't have processed in boxed foods or canned foods. Like it's either fresh or frozen.
Right.
So
I like to look at it is in a sense like the bad on the bad eating side on the bad eating side of things. I like to picture a bucket. Like I have a bucket. It's only gonna fill up so much. And if I take a little bit of that out by eating cooking with tallow and things like that, for example, maybe I could have a cookie later, or maybe like a cookie on Wednesday or something, but I think there's a balance, and you don't want to overfill the bucket because that's when you start having serious health problems, and I was on the verge of that too, because at the beginning of this year, I was almost 300 pounds.
Oh,
and,
dang,
and
dude.
So yeah, I was, I got on the scale. The last time I got on the scale, it said 299. And I was like, oh my God, I didn't know I was that big, So I started eating better, kind of watching the portions that I'm eating, what I'm eating. I started upping my physical activity, and now I'm down. I got on the scale the other day. I weighed 218. So I was like,
Congratulations, dude.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So But that just goes to show you that's how it was supposed to be before, that's what your body, that's the shape your body should be in if you're not eating fajitas and margaritas every day, and that's another thing that I've been trying to monitor is my alcohol consumption.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause I don't know if you guys drink or anything, but
Bro.
yeah,
We don't do it very often.
yeah.
Yeah, I work for a corporate, group.
Right.
So when we do some traveling, and when we all get together, sometimes I partake in it.
Right.
This week I had 2 drinks, and dude, it threw me off for 2 days. And
Isn't
I
that
understand.
crazy?
Like,
Yeah.
I always tell myself too, like I'm not gonna do it. I'll tell Kelly I'm not gonna fuck around.
Right.
But then I'm like, it's the pressure, right? You don't want to be the weird person not drinking, right? So you
yeah.
like then you're looking for like the whatever drink is like not heavy, right? So it was like vodka and like Sprite or whatever. But still, once you cut it out for like 6 weeks and then you reintroduce it,
Oh, yeah.
dude, it fucks you up.
Yeah,
dude.
it
So
does.
I was hurting for a couple of days after just having 2 drinks.
Right. Yeah. I didn't drink the past 2 weeks, and a couple nights ago I had a couple beers. Just like 2 beers and like 2 regular 12-ounce cans of beers. And dude, I woke up the next day and my muscles felt tense, and I mean, I'm not used to that. I
Hydrate you.
yeah, I had to like turn my neck, and it was just, I was struggling. I was like, man, but that's another movement that's happening right now is all these young kids. I mean, they are kind of cutting out alcohol, and there's other things that I'm sure that they're kind of moving towards, like, weed and stuff like that. But the alcohol is kind of becoming a thing of the past, because when I was growing up, everybody was drinking.
Dude,
I don't know,
yeah.
and so now, it's not weird to get a Topo Chico with lime or something, and that's kind of what I've been doing if I go out with friends and whatever, and if they're drinking and I'm not really trying to drink, I'll do a Topo Chico with lime, dressed with tahini or something, and it
looks like a drink.
Feels and it feels feels like it has like a social aspect to it too.
Yeah.
And man, I leave it at that, and I go home, and because I've always been one to drink too much, so after drinking too much, you go home, you pass out or whatever, and now not drinking, you come home, and I'm like, man, I could watch a movie, I could get some work done, I could edit some videos and whatever, and so I think the aspect of losing that time, because essentially that's in my view is you're losing time, you get drunk and you can't function properly, and so
you sleep in the next day.
Yeah, that Friday night's done. Saturday morning, you're not waking up until 10, and I like to wake up early. I like to wake up around 7 every day. It makes me feel good. And 7 growing up, 7 was early, or 7 was late to my dad. He was up at 4 a.m. He was on a pretty good schedule, but
that's John.
Yeah, it's a good schedule to be on, because it's like, man, I'm up and the rest of the world is sleeping.
It's such a flex, dude. I love like waking up and then like working out, getting done like with the workout like at 6, and then you still have the whole day. It's like I accomplished something that most people aren't going to do.
Exactly.
And it's a mental win for me.
100%. Yeah, and I have family, love them to death, but man, they'll call me, and a cousin or whatever, and it's like 1 or 2 p.m. We already got the whole day almost knocked out, and they'll call, and man, I'm just waking up. You want to go? I'm like, dude, I want to strangle you, you know, because like I had a full day, and like,
Are you Hispanic?
I am. Yeah, yeah.
That's a Hispanic, man.
Yeah,
sounds like my mom.
I guess so.
Love her to death, but that's my mom. Dude, my mom getting up out of bed like
It's all those tortillas and beans.
10, 11 o'clock. It was racist as hell.
Yeah.
It was racist as hell.
I mean,
no, that's what my favorite.
It's not a racist thing. Those are like not great carbs to have 24/7. It bogs you down.
Those handmade tortillas,
bro,
they're so good.
My God,
they go hard.
That's probably another thing that led to the $2.99. Honestly, I because I'd go home, and my grandma, she would have tortillas and friggin' beans, you know? And so that's one thing that got me is the handmade tortillas and some butter.
Oh yeah,
dude,
for sure, dude.
I'd put down the whole
bro.
thing.
When I
Butter's not terrible as long as you have
real butter.
Yeah. I think I was
the margarine, dude,
with the spray crap, at the time. Yeah, exactly.
The plastic,
the flavored, natural flavoring though.
Yeah,
natural flavored plastic.
Yes,
dude. When we go visit my family, it's always like diet always comes up because I don't eat like my family anymore. Right. So it's always like a little contention at the dinner table. And like Hispanic families, it's probably not just Hispanic. It's every culture. They want to eat with their kids and have family time around the dinner table, but I just don't eat tortillas and beans and rice anymore. So it's just like a lot like probably what Victoria eats. It's eggs and steak. But we give our kids stuff.
Yeah,
like
he's very disciplined.
That's good.
I mean, I can be tricked though. Like right now, if you brought out some like Oreos and said, "Hey, you want some?" Dude, I'll probably fuck up some Oreos.
I love Oreos. Did you see those Coca-Cola flavored Oreos that just came out?
No,
well, we haven't had. We used to buy them by the packs.
Yeah,
long time ago. But
I used to eat
I
them by the
haven't had
packs.
an Oreo. I couldn't tell you. It's
been a
been
while.
years.
It's been a while for her. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I obviously I don't keep sweets in the house because in the evenings around 9 p.m. I'm like I may have to go in the pantry, but luckily I don't keep everything. If anything sweet, it's like the like any type of like sugar-free like these Mios or something like that. I mean that's like the only flavor I'm getting, and I drink a lot of carbonated water too, but anyways, man, mine slipped. I had something on my mind. The Coca-Cola Oreos. I went to H-E-B the other day, and maybe it was Kroger. I forgot, but apparently they have Coca-Cola flavored Oreos.
That's what I'm talking about.
And then next to it, they had Oreo flavored Coca-Cola.
Dude!
And I was
that's
like,
awesome.
"What is this?"
I want to
so
try
gross
it.
though.
I want to try it.
I completely veered away from it just because I was like, I cannot do that. But Yeah,
Bro, imagine that with a glass of milk.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Coca-Cola with milk.
Bro, that sounds really
so
good. I don't know why, but it
disgusting.
sounds so good.
Like
Have you
almost
seen
like a
the
Coke
Skittle
float.
drinks?
Mm-mm.
Bro, they're making like a fruit juice Skittle drink where it tastes like Skittles.
Oh wow! Is this like a Coke? Also a Coke product?
I don't.
or-
Whoever owns Skittles, but it's like I like the memes on Instagram because it's like the health conscious people are like raw milk is banned by the FDA, but the FDA allows like Skittle flavored
Approves it, yeah,
drink. dude.
exactly.
That's pretty
do y'all,
wild.
Do y'all get raw milk?
We do. There's a
John does.
yeah. There.
Are
She
you not
claims
a fan of it?
I just
you don't really drink milk anyway.
I don't
but
drink a whole lot of milk, but I don't really veer off of what I'm comfortable doing.
Right.
And I'm not comfortable drinking raw milk, but it just
have you actually tasted it?
no, I don't think I have.
I don't think it tastes really good.
And I don't have a problem with it. I don't.
Yeah,
don't
it's
drink
not
milk.
something on the menu for
Yeah.
you. I've never tried it. I have a good friend Barry, and he swears by it. He drives like 30 minutes outside of the city every week to go pick up this milk, and I've heard great things about it. I know 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu in Austin.
Mm-hmm.
I know they sell raw milk out of their facility also. So like I said, I've never tried it, but man, my friend Barry, he swears by it. He loves it.
Yeah.
And so I was like, man, maybe I need to get my hands on some.
I did a podcast. Have you heard of Milking? All right, so Milking, they're a local. They're based out of Texas. Well, there's a bunch of dairy farms based out of Texas, but Milking is probably one of the largest. They distribute to a bunch of coffee chains around even local coffee shops here in Houston. But they do their black label, which is raw milk. And for the longest time, I thought that I was lactose intolerant. I couldn't have milk because anytime I had milk, I would shit my brains out. If I have ice cream, we go have ice cream. I need to race home because it's
Really?
going to hit me quick.
And it doesn't do that with the
raw milk, dude. I had it multiple days in a row, no issues. Like legitimately zero issues.
That's kind of crazy.
And it's because like if you talk to them, I'm gonna butcher it. I don't remember all of what they said, but when you are pasteurizing milk, you're killing all the life that's in it. It's basically a dead product, is what it is. So when you have raw milk, you're getting all the live enzymes, all the live bacteria. When people think of bacteria, they're like, oh, it's a bad thing. But there's good bacteria too.
Sure.
When you get pasteurized milk, they're heating it up, and the way he explained it is like they slam the milk against, like in this container, they slam it, and then they heat it up, and they're slamming it, and they're heating it up, and it's killing all the good enzymes, all the good bacteria, and then you get this like dead product essentially. There's
Right.
nothing good in it. It's just it's whatever it is. It's the leftover of the actual milk that comes out of the cow.
Right.
But when you get raw milk, you get all that good stuff.
Right.
And there's like this there's this bacteria or enzyme that makes it like I forget what it's called, but it's what counteracts the lactose in milk. So if you get the raw milk and you're like if you're lactose intolerant, there's this thing or enzyme in raw milk that counteracts it, and that's why I'm guessing I don't have a problem whenever I drink it.
Wow, that's amazing. And how are you just drinking like a cup of milk, or is this like, are you using it in your cereal? Or is
Well,
this
man,
like a
so
thing?
I don't really like drink a whole lot of milk anyway, but we like whenever there's this farm out in Sweeney, out towards Angleton. What are they called again? Counterculture. I forget what they're called.
I don't remember.
But anyway, I'll try to get our twin because we have twins. We have 4 kids. We have 2 older girls, and then we have a set of twins.
Oh wow.
So I try to instead of giving them like regular milk, I try to give the twins, the raw milk. I'm trying to like shape the twins in this lifestyle. The older girls, I kind of kid around all the time. Like they're kind of lost. They're us.
Right.
They're kind of us because we raised them not knowing like all the stuff that we've learned
Sure,
and
yeah.
this other lifestyle. But
How old are the twins?
they're 5.
5. Oh yeah. Perfect time to start instilling some health knowledge.
Yeah, they don't like it.
No.
They're not a fan.
Man, I try to.
No.
We
when he leaves the room, they're like, "Mom, make us the regular chocolate milk that you
Oh
make, not
my
what Dad makes."
well, because we buy the Nesquik or whatever, but I try to make them like
With the protein.
yeah. No, I'm just like cacao powder and a little bit of vanilla extract.
Oh, okay.
So it gives like the hint of chocolate, but my son Lino, he'll drink anything, but my daughter Mia, man,
Oh no, she can sniff that out from a mile away.
Yeah,
Like
she's
if
like-
it's coming from his hand, she's like, I don't want anything to do with that.
Yes,
I
yeah.
know that that's not what I think it is.
but they're not messing with it.
Yeah, I know my brother. He has 2 daughters, and they've kind of shaped them in a healthy way too. They're actually crazy. These girls, they got like 6-packs, and I
Hell
mean
yeah.
they're
Good for
they're
them.
pretty beastie little girls.
Yeah.
But yeah, so when they don't keep any sweets in their house. The only sweets they have is like the protein, like the chocolate protein powder.
Yeah.
That's as far as it goes. And I was over there the other day. They're like, "You want some chocolate milk?" And I'm like, "Yeah, maybe, yeah." They're over there blending up ice and protein powder and like almond milk.
Hell yeah,
It's
that's what I like to
I
hear.
was
That
like,
too?
I was like, let's do it, you know.
Yeah.
And it actually turned out great, you know.
Yeah, they'll drink our like the protein shake that I give them. They'll drink that.
Yeah, but it's kind of sweet. It's not.
It's made with epic protein
Yeah.
powder.
Ah, okay,
So
okay.
it's pretty good.
Man, I need to go to the supplement store and look around. I have some, but I'm trying to get something a little less on the sweeter side.
Yeah.
kind of away from like the artificial sweeteners and stuff like that.
Have you checked out Equipped? Equipped's got a good.
Are they in like Vitamin Shop and things like that?
I don't
Vitamin
know if
World?
they're in like GNC or any of that, but you can order them online. And
Okay.
it's relatively
Equipped.
Equipped Foods, but they got their whole. They're right in line to like what we believe. Like their protein is like clean source. They sell like clean source collagen. Everything is as real, as close to like non-toxic as you can possibly get. They don't have a bunch of additives and fillers.
Right.
And it comes with trade-offs, right? Like when you buy protein powder that has a bunch of bull crap that makes it easier to mix, all that, all that stuff is bad for you. I don't know what it all is, but it is all bad for you. Like Equip,
Right. It's just like getting drugs these days is they're cutting it with something.
Right,
And
right.
so it's tampered with.
yep,
You know?
Equip, like the one downside is like if you're gonna like make a protein sludge bowl or whatever, like when you mix it, it doesn't mix easy. But that's because like it doesn't have the fake bullshit in it to help
Right.
it mix.
Dude, I just used one of those bullet.
Yep. Yeah, then
those
you have
bullet
no problem.
blenders. Yeah,
Yeah, you have no problem
Seems to chop everything up regardless of how gunky
Of what it is, yeah. So that's like if you have one of those, then you're in good shape.
Right. And and man, I like I said, I've had the habit of putting ice in it and making it almost
Like a little ice
like a
cream?
smoothie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and I guess back to y'all's products, what type of response from y'all's customers have y'all been getting? I mean, pretty good responses. I know with the examples that you were telling me with the swelling and stuff, but when people reach out, is it usually a pretty positive response?
Oh yeah, it's awesome. Well, my favorite one is when we're at farmers markets, right? And if it's not crazy hot out, the product works better because you're not sweating and feeling all
Exactly,
gross.
yeah.
So if it's a little cooler, someone will come up, they've never tried it before, we explain it to them, and we're like, here, take a sample. They put it on, and they're like, all right, we're going to walk around. And we can literally watch them walk around, and they're sitting there like,
Yeah.
because after
not bad.
if you're not used to tallow and you're just used to lotion, like it feels heavier, a little more greasier, but it soaks in within a few minutes. Like if you're not paying attention and then you go back 5 minutes later, you're like, oh wow, this feels super soft and not oily or anything.
Right.
And we can watch them walk around, and then usually they come back and they buy one.
Wow, that's a good feeling too.
And we have lots of people that, have bought and love it that send other people. They're like, oh, so-and-so told us to come get some.
Right.
And the same thing online. They're like messaging us about it. So
Yeah.
Wow.
it's been an amazing response. And then we've had people, say that it's helped fade their scars and stuff. And
Wow.
our Lavensense, it's made with lavender and frankincense. Lavender and frankincense are really good for like inflammation and stuff. And so like
Is
putting
frankincense? I'm not actually not familiar with that. Is that like a?
it's like a I think it's a tree. So they take the sap from the tree and
Does
like,
that have a scent? Does that alone have a scent? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
But along with lavender smells really,
I think
really good.
we bought you a little sample bag too
Oh,
of
what?
stuff. And some soaps, but here I'll let you smell.
So
guys
the,
at the
the,
bottom.
the
Lavender.
Oh, shoot.
pristine,
Oh, dude, I love some nice soap bars. You guys, wow.
check,
So y'all are making this.
Oh yeah. My wife's a soap queen.
I'm the
Wow.
soap
This
queen
looks
now.
amazing.
So the black and white one is technically lavender and frankincense, but I think it smells a little more like frankincense.
I don't want to open it for you, but this is what she was talking about.
Oh,
but that-
shoot. Well, let's bust this thing
You wanna
open,
smell it a
honestly.
little bit?
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
Yeah,
The
look-
Lavensense.
So that was
Hey,
that was
I
probably
appreciate these
absolutely.
these samples. Yeah, this is gonna be.
that was our first one that we started making.
How do I do this? I just
put a little bit.
So you only need a tiny
That-
bit. You don't need very much at all.
that
That'll probably do
I
all
travel-
of your hands.
Gotcha.
yeah. Whenever
Yeah.
I travel for work, I'll take a couple of packets, and these packets will last me all week.
Really.
Like a little bit, like a finger amount.
Oh, that
does
smells
my
great.
whole
Yeah.
body.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
But we've had people come because, we use this on our kids too. And mosquitoes in Texas are like, they're
God.
animals.
Oh, they're
Like,
birds,
they're-
man.
Yeah.
They're freaking
They're
pterodactyls.
not insects. And so our kids get eaten alive, and we'll use the Lavensense because of the lavender and frankincense, and
Right.
it helps that swelling and itching. It's
Really?
crazy
Wow.
how awesome it is.
Wow.
And
No,
we have,
I love that. Yeah.
we have friends that do it too. So
yeah. So you give it a little bit if you've never used it, and
Sure.
it feels heavy, right? It doesn't feel like lotion.
Right,
Lotion has alcohol or some other types of,
Yeah,
of
something
chemicals
that,
in
like,
it that kind of deadens it on your skin.
Right.
It evaporates it, but this
No,
will
is-
actually
is-
soak
yeah,
in
this
it.
is this feels healthy.
And people wonder about the scents too. Like we have different scents. We have peppermint. We have vanilla. Admire smells had jasmine and lavender. They all have a different scent,
Right.
but they're not heavily scented. Like
yeah, so it's not like
Right,
Bath
right,
and
right.
Body Works. I know a lot of people come
No,
up
this
and
is
they're
great.
like,
It's like nice and subtle.
what's the scent? Because they go to like Bath and Body Works, and it's
Right.
overwhelming. The scent.
Right.
Like my daughter, she still loves that stuff, and she'll spray it on, and I'm like,
she did it this morning. She sprayed
No, that
like-
was Lino.
Oh, okay.
Lino went up. Lino went upstairs and got into Tyler's stuff,
Bro.
and he came downstairs and he goes, "Mom, my shirt stinks." But he was coming from outside. I didn't see him go upstairs, and I was like, "Does he smell like sweat? Like, did he get into something outside?" And I walk up and I take a big whiff of his shirt, and I'm like, "Oh my god!"
Oh, no.
He went
We
upstairs
can
and
since we don't use that stuff in the house, like when our daughters spray it upstairs,
we smell it.
we smell it like immediately.
Yeah.
It's like impacts us.
It's crazy how that smell travels.
Oh
you know?
yeah, dude! It's just like tearing up your immune system.
Yeah, it's like when people put on Axe body
Oh,
sprays.
dude, I used to love Axe.
Yeah,
the green one. What was the
back in the
green
day,
one, dude?
yeah.
I forget what the green one was called, but man,
I
that was my
think I
jam.
had the blue one.
I
Yeah.
used them all. I worked at a grocery store, so I just
yeah.
like I may have took one or two. when I
Yeah,
worked at the grocery-
it was damaged product.
yeah,
Can't sell it to the customer.
Can't sell it to the customer.
But the nice thing about these is they're lightly scented, so you're gonna have a little bit of scent, right?
Sure, yeah.
And when you put it on, like the scent eventually is gonna like fade away,
No,
so
I
you're
like
not
that,
gonna
yeah.
smell
Not gonna
like
smell like a girl. The only one that
Right.
will probably last, and that's because jasmine, dude. I don't know if you know much
Jasmine's
about
I love
jasmine.
jasmine. Yeah, I
It's
love the
potent.
smell
It's
of
an
jasmine, yeah.
aphrodisiac. Just,
Yeah,
hey,
yeah, I know.
hey. But that one, it
It'll
was like
last a little while.
yeah, that one will last a little
Wow,
while.
I love how you guys have the QR codes here.
Oh, yeah.
If I scan that, what happens?
it
takes
takes you
you-
straight to our website.
It's a picture of me
Really?
naked.
Ah, no, that's the admire.
It takes us to the take you to the website.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, I love that. That's really cool. How are you guys making these packets? I mean, this is like a
So-
fancy little packet here.
Yeah.
So whenever we would make the jars and stuff, we've got a little pump that pumps them in there so it's clean, not messy. Because
right.
at first we didn't have one,
Oh
and it
God,
just was
I bet that was
it was such a pain.
a task. Yeah.
Yeah, and wiping the jars off after getting tallow all over is not fun. So we got a pump, and then I realized after we got done pumping, like there would be some still in the pump, but not enough to make a jar. And I was like, you know what? That would be cool to like send samples to people. Like if it's
Right.
their first order and they're ordering just like one because someone told them to, like
Right.
sending them a sample of something else.
Yeah. So if they order like Lavensense, then our two popular scents are Lavensense and Bernella.
Bernella.
Which Bernella actually was just like it came out of an argument.
It did.
So my wife, so
It's the
Kelly,
best.
Yeah.
Kelly loves vanilla.
I know who won that one.
Well, obviously she did.
Well, it wasn't like
If it was up to her,
I love anything vanilla.
with
Right,
us,
right.
everything
Vanilla.
on the table would be vanilla. So I was like, hey, not everyone loves vanilla. And she was like, well, I'm going to try bergamot vanilla. So anyway, this one, Bernella is bergamot and vanilla.
Wow.
People love, I don't know where I was going
It
with
kind of
this,
smells like a key lime pie.
but yeah.
Really?
Yes.
I love key
Oh my
lime
god.
pie.
It smells like, but not. It's like a really good.
I can't explain it.
It's hard to
Oh,
explain.
I know where I was going with it. If they order like a lavender scent, then we try to we'll send a sample of something that we think is complementary to that scent. So if they order Bernella, we'll probably send I don't know, like lavender scents or Admire or something like that. But just to pique their interest, especially if they're a first time buyer. And if they're repeat customers, we try to take care of them and send extra stuff. But
Very cool. Well, I know we were kind of bashing on USPS earlier. So how is the shipping process? I mean, has that given you guys any headaches?
A couple, not too many, but there's been a couple of times where customers reached out and because we don't go check 24/7. We got a bunch of orders. We can't just constantly be looking at all. And they'll reach out and they'll say, hey, it says that it hasn't moved. And I'm like, oh no. So I'll look and they're right, it hasn't moved. So I reach out to UPS and they're like, well, you can't put in a claim, so we'll start an investigation. And a couple days will go by and then it'll just show up at their door. And it's happened a couple times. And I'm like, or it'll be routed through somewhere in New Jersey, but then somehow end up back in Texas before it goes back to the customer. And
both times that we've had an issue have been with people around the New York, New Jersey area. And there's a distribution center that it has to go through when it gets to that area. And both times within a couple of weeks have been in that distribution center. And I went on Reddit, and I don't know if you get on Reddit. Bro, this distribution center had a whole Reddit page because of how
of this distribution center.
of how fucked up it
my
was.
God, that's
how many
actually
orders. So I was like, okay.
But it's not just them. So my daughter's birthday was last week, and I got with my sister. She lives in Ohio, and I had her order this backpack that my daughter wanted so that she couldn't see on her Amazon account that I ordered it. And so I had her order it and she had it sent to me. Well, it was supposed to show up on her birthday. And it had showed all these in transit type things, but then it never showed up. And so it said it was in Angleton. So I called the Angleton UPS and I said, hey, it says my package is here. Can I just come get it since y'all didn't deliver it today? And the lady was like, well, we don't have it. It hasn't even been scanned yet. And I was like, you literally have all these, where it's gone. No, that's just a I don't know what she called it, but the system just automatically puts those in there, but it's not even been scanned yet. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Yeah, it's a weird system.
And we still don't have it.
Oh,
yeah.
Gosh.
And I called him again. Nothing. And I was just like, all right. And we had to order a new one. My sister actually had it sent to her in Ohio, and she owns a UPS store. So she just overnighted it to me.
That's nice. Yeah, that's very cool. Yeah.
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 So,
well, I guess we can't talk too much bad about UPS now.
I mean,
we can.
I mean, we've had packages that are at the person in 2 days. So, I mean, it's just toss a coin.
Right.
You get what you
Man,
get.
I bet. I wonder is that a headache owning a UPS store?
Oh, yeah.
I could imagine. It's probably this problem times 50 or more.
Yeah.
100.
Yeah, but I think she's got a little bit more control on how things, especially going through her store. And
Sure.
she's not a owner that's not there and has, people run it.
Right.
She's there every day.
They're getting it going.
So
now.
she's a trainer for all the people around her.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, she's been doing it for 20 something years now.
Wow.
Yeah, so she knows it really well. But it's a headache.
Yeah. And just there's so much movement going on with packages.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, almost every friggin' truck you see on the road has somebody's packages in it. Planes, they're flying from one place to another, and it's just packed with what's that movie with the where the guy
Castaway?
Yes, Castaway. I don't know why that movie popped in my mind.
Because there's a FedEx package that he holds on to.
Yes.
That's funny.
I love that show. I need to
That's a
watch
good
it.
movie.
Yeah,
Such a good
it
one.
really is a good movie. Yeah.
Wilson.
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
So what advice would you guys give to somebody if, in trying to start a business, because it's not easy, right? I mean, there's a lot of hoops to jump through.
Headaches, and if you're doing it with someone else, probably disagreements on how things need to be worked. But
Right.
I guess jumping into it, because I'm one of those cautious people. I don't want to do anything until I know everything.
Right.
But if we did it that way, we probably wouldn't be in business yet.
Right.
Like,
Right.
I'm very nervous about everything.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you kind of have to be, because there's so many unknown components, that pop up. And that's like when I thought about starting this thing, I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna start a podcast. Well, I didn't realize how much went into it, and there's so much. And I guess this could be considered a business, but on another note, owning and operating a full-fledged business like you guys are doing is pretty incredible, and you guys are doing, you said farmers markets also, right?
We do farmers markets, and we're starting to do more larger events.
Yeah,
So we did
KetoCon.
we did Hack Your Health by KetoCon this year, which is
what?
pretty.
Where's that at? Where was that at?
It was held. It's been held in Austin the last few years, and next year will be the first year that it's going to be held in Florida. But essentially, they bring in a bunch of like health experts or social media influencers that are in the health space, and they bring in a bunch of vendors.
Right.
That are in the health realm, I guess.
It's a crazy event. Like, there were people from like Canada that flew down to it and all over.
Really?
So we
People
got to
drove
meet.
up from Mexico.
Yeah,
and,
we got to meet a lot of people. It was really
Wow.
cool.
It was
Wow.
it was good for us.
What importance does connecting with these people? Has that played a big part?
It's probably
in
the
business?
most important piece of all of this. I mean, other than making sure that our product is good.
Right.
It's probably the most important piece, because word of mouth has probably got us more sales than us just throwing up an ad on. And then like just us being personable. Like,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I get so annoyed at him. He's like, you need to be on there. I'm not pretty, you are, kind of thing. Like,
if it was like a protein centered product, then of course I would wouldn't mind, but posting myself. But
Right.
social media is a game, right?
Yeah,
and
yeah, it is.
like a pretty face
Right.
sells. So
Right, 100%,
When
yeah.
I just showed her the Instagram post from the last 3 or 4 days, like when she takes a picture, the engagement and shares and like almost instantaneous like buys that we get
Right.
is like down to what she posted. But if it's just like a picture of the product, which is boring, you're not going to get an engagement
Right.
on that. But she's right. Or the question that you asked, how important it is, with the community. Like we got a couple of ambassadors, like Victoria is one of the ambassadors. We got Dr. Jen, who's like this awesome naturopathic doctor. And every time they post, leads to more sales, leads to more
Wow.
customers.
Isn't that crazy how that works?
Dude, the power of social media in that way is pretty remarkable.
yeah,
Right.
but I think people want to, when they go buy a product, they want to know that, they're buying a product from someone that also uses it. They can
Right,
relate to,
exactly.
that's all
Exactly.
of social media nowadays. Like, everybody wants to see how they relate. Because like you said earlier, when you look at social media and you see for example, these models and girls that pose and stuff, they're posing, right? That's the whole point, to make them look good. But the second they stop posing, generally they're probably going to look just like you, with your stomach hanging out and not
Right,
sucked
exactly,
in.
right.
It's not real, and they
Right.
want to see real.
And also too, you could pay me and Kelly could go and to someone in the health space or carnivore space and pay them for a post. It's a normal thing that everyone does, but we haven't done that. We don't want it. We want to work with people that actually will like our product and we like them and we feel like it's a good blend. So
Right.
we only have a few ambassadors right now, and
Right.
it's, I think, largely because we're picking and choosing who we want to work
Right.
with.
You have to be selective because,
Yeah.
even for example, you look at Victoria, her skin looks amazing.
For sure.
So that's obvious. It's obviously a no-brainer. She eats healthy, kind of abides by all these strict eating habits,
Yep.
which is what you need.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, she was just, and she flipped her lifestyle. I mean, I forget how long she was vegan, but she was vegan for a long time. So
Right, yeah. Man, believe it or not, so I was influenced. I was dating this girl years ago, and she was actually from Washington State, and so she was not about the meat thing.
Yeah.
So she moved down here, and here in Texas,
All meat.
Yeah, exactly. And so, so we kind of, she kind of just taught me her ways, and I was like, yeah, let's try it. So I did it for 6 months, and man, I went back and I ate my first steak after that 6 months, and I was like,
this is so good.
my
Yeah.
God, and there was like a couple times where, like the first week was kind of a little rough, I think. But then I had a burst of energy. It went well, but man, all of that did not compare to like eating good and having a nice mean steak. I felt mentally aware, you know, and I think it's just, I think, a combination of things is great, and, so yeah, I mean, what you guys are doing is really, really awesome.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. It's been a journey, and it's a passion, like to introduce people to non-toxic products. So it's like not only gets them going about what they're putting on their skin, but how we talked about earlier, gets them thinking about what they're feeding themselves and what they're putting in their body.
Right.
How did your hands feel?
Oh, I was just about to say, yeah, they feel amazing.
You forget about it and then you go back.
The heaviness that we were talking about is completely gone.
No,
My hands feel soft, I feel like because naturally I think my hands are a little rough, and so especially going to work out and stuff, you're grabbing a barbell and it kind of rips your hands and stuff, but no, my hands, they feel impressively smooth.
Yeah.
So
yeah, people shake my hands, and I'm pretty active on social media. Like I post my workouts and stuff.
Right.
And people think like when I shake their hands, it happened this week when they're like, "Oh, I figured your hands would be," you're like, "Man, your hands are soft. You got some soft hands.
Right.
You wearing gloves or what?"
Right.
Like, nah, dude, that's that beef fat, bro.
Right, yeah. It definitely makes a difference. The quality products make a difference.
Yep.
And I'm not gonna lie, I have lotions in there that don't do this. They're not, they're store bought. They're probably not. They're probably made with BS ingredients, whatever.
Yep.
But yeah, I think that just goes back to journey in general. Life's all about a journey. You got to live and learn. A lot of people didn't grow up like this. I sure didn't.
No.
And so when I started learning a little bit more about health and wellness and things like that, I was like, oh, this is big, And so, like I said earlier, you only get one body,
Yep.
and if you could take small things, a little bit of water out of that bucket and start, dumping a little bit by, every chance you get, then all of a sudden that bucket's going to be, half full, and you won't have to be so stressed in that, with overdoing it. So,
absolutely.
so you guys make lotion, deodorant, soaps, which honestly the soap is this one is probably my favorite.
That's my favorite.
It's one of our top sellers.
It smells like I was about to say it smells extremely clean, pristine clean. I love that. I mean, it's a great name.
That one is technically lavincense, but when you're making soap the cold process way, it goes through saponification and it changes the soap. Turns it into soap, right? So when you're adding stuff before that chemical reaction, like it kind of changes how it's going to smell. So when making all of this, like I wasn't really sure how it was going to turn out. I was so freaking nervous. I was like, did I just waste all this product? Is it even going to smell? Because, reading all this stuff and then being on these forums on Facebook of these other people that do it and tell you what to do and stuff, I wasn't sure what to expect. And it smells like lavincense, but it doesn't at the same time. But it's a good smell. So
how do you get the swirls in it? I see this and it's really cool looking, and I've seen it before. I've seen it done before, but I never know how they do it.
Oh, I'm an amateur when it comes to that. But pretty much when I mix my whole batch, I take some of just the the white part of the soap, and I pour it into like another jar or jug, and then I add the black charcoal.
Charcoal.
Yeah, charcoal.
Activated charcoal.
Yeah, I add the activated charcoal, which gives it that color, and depending on how much you add, intensifies the darkness. And so I've got square little molds that I pour the white into, and then I'll take the black and I'll just kind of put it in there and then just kind of swirl it with a stick.
Wow.
Yeah.
So all this chemical process, is that something that you're involved with? Like, I mean, where
No.
did you
She makes the soap.
He's not
No.
involved with the soap at all.
No,
Okay.
the
Wow,
soap.
wow,
She,
wow.
she handles all the soap. So it took her, like, I kept telling her, like, hey, what are you doing? Because, like, the way we split it up is, like, I probably make most of the tallow and she makes the soap. I make the deodorant. She makes the lip balm.
He makes the deodorant. I don't mess with the deodorant. But I mean, we both kind of do a little bit of both of everything else except for the soap. So the soap and deodorant, I do all the soap, he does all the deodorant, and then everything else, like, it's a mix between us.
Kind
Like,
of a hodgepodge.
Well,
yeah.
usually we're doing it together, or if he's busy with work and stuff, like, I'll just do it on my own.
Right.
But we
yeah.
both
Distributing that
Yeah.
workload. Yeah. And it's a lot. I mean, are you guys sending out a lot of orders a week or?
Yeah, I mean it's hit and miss. Like some weeks are busier. It's funny when it happens.
I'm sure
Like-
around Christmas it's pretty.
Well,
pretty-
Christmas,
pretty
yeah,
backed
it
up
gets
too,
bigger. But like just a couple of weeks ago, like something happened. Like Shopify they must have been like, or Google or someone must have been promoting our website because we had like
We had like 10 orders one day, like
Oh,
just
what?
back to back, like within
400
an hour.
website bidders. Like,
Yeah.
It was pretty wild that one week. But I don't know. It just depends. Like we used to buy paid ads on Instagram and stuff, but
Right.
we find that just like trying to post every day and then working with our ambassadors to post as much as possible.
Right,
That's what matters to us.
Right. Wow. What does it mean to be an ambassador? Like I hear companies, they say they have a brand ambassador. It's somebody who I guess embodies the company and represents it.
Yeah, now it's getting watered down because like with social media, if you have over like 10,000 followers, companies will reach out to you and, like I said, pay you to post.
Right.
And that's how these people are able to post content all day. They just become the social media influencer. They build up a good following, and then they get paid from multiple companies to post certain amounts of times.
Mm-hmm.
And then they all have a cute, like a little code. And then if their follower buys product, they get a kickback. So like,
I see.
that's kind of like how it happens with us. Like we want to work with people like, hey, who we believe in and who embody our vision, kind of believe in the same messaging that we believe in.
Yeah.
And-
we want them to like our product
Yeah.
too. Like we
Right.
don't want you to push our product if you don't
If you
really
don't
like
use
it
it.
and use
Right.
it. Like,
Exactly. I mean, that's yeah.
that's no fun.
So for us, that's what that means. Is like, okay, if you're gonna reach, like we got a few from Hack Your Health, that conference that we did.
Oh, cool. Very cool.
And they used it, and we were kind of working back and forth, and we send them some more products, and they liked it. So that's organically happening. Is kind of like where we're at right now. If they really do love it, then like we'll send them free product. We'll give them kickbacks on all their orders that they get.
Yeah, and then
That's
the
very cool.
people that, follow them and want to try it too also get that discount from them.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So-
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah, and that's good that to be selective in that process is important, because I'm wearing a Jersey Mike's hat right now. My brother, he's opening up a Jersey Mike's in Beaumont, and
Heck
so
yeah.
Jersey Mike's is really, really selective when it comes to who they let franchise the company and things like that, and so they had to go through this whole thing, and me, I like being healthy, but I'm also a big fan of food too.
Yeah.
Like I like food. And so, in this process, they're like, why, obviously I wasn't there, but I'm just kind of repeating what I was told. Why Jersey Mike's? Why do you want to, franchise? And it's like, well, we like the product, and that's really all it takes is to to really appreciate the product of what something makes. So yeah, I think you guys are doing well. So What other what do you guys offer any other products besides the lotions and the deodorants? I mean, do y'all have anything else on the horizon where y'all are trying to like, do some testing?
I definitely do. I want to get into, it's all centered around reducing your toxic load.
Sure.
So we kind of dabbled into the skincare thing. I definitely like to do like some soap, like liquid soap, because the barrier to entry for people to use bars is kind of hard, right? It's a specific market for those people. Everyone loves the convenience of a liquid soap. So there are ways to make non-toxic soap. So I want to get into that, but also get into something a little different, which is laundry detergent, and then like dishwash detergent, like little soap things, and then like get into candles and things like that. But we just haven't really like taken the next step. It's been like a hectic year. We live in hurricane area, so our house got killed this year.
Really?
So we've been doing a lot of repairs. So once things like settle out, we'll be able to do a little bit more.
But we also have beard oil.
Yeah, beard oil. Oh yeah, I forgot about the oils.
And we have like a rose skin serum.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool. Yeah.
That was something relatively like within the last few months. We noticed that the skincare companies that have a large social media following, they were selling their oil for like $90 for like an ounce, bro.
Oh yeah.
Holy crap.
John would like.
I was like,
He'd
wait.
see this and then he'd go look up the ingredients.
Yeah, so they list their ingredients. I'm like, bro, why are they selling this for $90? Like, there's no reason. So we made one that we like, which is same ingredients. You get one more ounce, so we're selling 2 ounces for half the price.
Wow. That's amazing.
And that's picked up a little bit steam here and there, but.
Yeah, we got our beard oil. So we've got one that's not scented, and then we've got Girly Man and then Manly Man.
I think I saw the Girly Man.
We should have bought you one, man.
Yeah.
I didn't know you had a beard.
I know. Yeah, we've been working on it. I went to the barber the other day. I'm so sad because my barber he's leaving. He's leaving the area.
Dude, that's a big move, dude.
I know.
For you.
Yeah, I know. Well, now I got to find another barber.
Yeah.
And so. And he's kind of who I've been going to for the past, year and a half or so. Yeah. And it's also like therapy. Every time I go there, I'm like, I could tell you all my problems.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, no, I'm definitely going to have to check out the beard oil. I went to, that's what I was going to say. I went to the barber the other day and he was like, man, you need to start using more beard oil. He's like, your beard's looking a little dry. And I was like, okay.
We'll send you some.
That's all I need. That's all I needed to know.
We'll send you some.
The Girly Man's kind of like a lavender. I mean, it doesn't smell girly, right? But it's a little more subtle.
What did I want to call it? I forget what I wanted.
So I reached out to my dad and I was like, Dad, what should we call this? And he always says Manly Man or Girly Man.
Right.
And so I was like, oh, that's perfect. And then the one that, the unscented, we were going to call it non-binary, but we didn't want to
I wanted to.
We didn't want to push that line. So we just called it undecided.
That's hilarious.
The Manly Man actually smells like Old Spice. It's a really nice, manly smell. And
it's got cedarwood and patchouli.
And patchouli.
It smells good.
That's what's up right there.
We've had a lot of people that really like that one because it leaves that smell, but it also leaves you not just your beard, but like your skin underneath moisturized. And we started that because of his friend Levi. He's got skin conditions under his beard, and he goes, "Hey, can y'all make me some of that with prickly pear oil?" And
because he was rubbing the tallow on, but he was like, "Hey, do you have
beard oil?"
You have beard oil, and I was like, "Oh, we can try to make it." So I made some. Like I think we bought jojoba oil. That's the only thing that we had that's a little bit different to the beard oil, and we sent it out to him, and he's like, "Dude, this is the best." But I sent him like a little tube, and he was like done with it within a week. So I was like, "Okay." So our jars are 2 ounces, which typically you can only find like a 1 ounce beard oil jar.
Right.
But yeah.
And that's what I like about y'all stuff. Cause even this little sample pack, I mean, like you said, you could kind of make it last. So, I mean, you don't have to go through the whole thing like in one day.
You know? So our jars right now, we have 1 jar size. It's 3 ounces. It's a 4 ounce jar, but we fit 3 ounces in it every time.
Right.
People ask how long that lasts, and I always like to say it lasts like a month or two.
Well, they get kind of scared because, right, they walk up and, like, you know, if you're coming to, like, or even if you go to the website, like, you see the price and then you see how big it is, like, it doesn't seem like it's that big. And then, you know, depending on which essential oil it has in it, the price is different because, I mean, jasmine for a tiny bottle is $120.
Wow. I didn't know that they were up there in that price.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
well,
That's
that one is.
jasmine.
But then I could get I don't remember, a big bottle of lavender for the same price. So it's going to be more. Like,
Right.
And so they walk up and they're like a little scared that, you know, jasmine is almost $40. And they're like, oh, this isn't going to last me. But it's like, you literally need like
Just a
touch.
right.
And you got
signature touch.
signature touch.
Dude, like a little, I put like one little thing on my finger and I do my like face, chest, arms, and legs.
Which that reminds me, like, we've had people ask, like, is it going to make my face too oily? I already have oily skin. And
Oh, yeah.
no, it's not. Like, you're obviously, when you put it on, it's going to feel heavier. You're going to feel oily, but it's going to soak in. And
Right.
like, we've had ladies that put it underneath as like a moisturizer for their makeup. And
Wow.
it keeps you moisturized.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I grew up. My mom, she had this thing where she would put Vaseline on her face.
Yeah.
So she did
Petroleum.
that. Yeah, and so she that's what she did, and she's still. I mean, I don't even know how old she is. Shout out my mom, by the way. however, that old bat. I saw her this weekend now, but no, her face is like
On point.
incredible. Actually,
Yeah.
you know, for her, I think she's around
Keeping
68.
your skin
you know?
moisturized is huge.
Yeah.
And keeping it healthy. And I didn't know that growing up, obviously. So
Yeah.
But it makes a big difference.
Yeah, you know, and also another thing I was going to ask you guys is, how is y'all's experience setting up y'all's booth at these farmers markets and stuff? I mean,
In what way?
it is like the process in getting, you know, a spot and everything. Is
yeah.
is
So
that
I'm very like I said before, I don't like to venture out of what I know, and I set it up. Usually John will drop me off and help me unload if he's there and doesn't have the kids. But if not, like, I have a specific way of doing things and setting things up.
Right.
And it's a process. And I don't want him touching it because he had Candace, my daughter, stay with me and help me one day. And I love her help, but it doesn't help me. Like,
Right.
it frustrates me because I'm like, that's not how I do it. Like, get out of my way, let me do it. So it's actually a pretty easy process because I do it all.
I think he was talking about like getting the booth though, like actually
yeah,
getting the
just
spot.
even the full process, honestly,
like,
you know,
we're
because
just reaching out, like just finding who runs the market, and then literally just sending them an email or writing them on Facebook, like, hey, how much? Because each market costs usually, or
well, they're all different too.
Yeah.
Like, some of them we tried to get to. So he's from Austin originally,
okay.
and we tried to get into one of his hometown ones. But you have to live within a 25-mile radius or
Really?
something. And so they wouldn't let us in. And then we've had ones like that were over there too. Christmas on Mercer in Austin's a huge one. And I think a lot of people come from Austin to Dripping Springs to go to that too. And it's just, you submit your payment and request, and as long as they had room, like, you're in.
wow.
And so that's another big event that we go to. And
Right.
I think I want to start doing like the larger conferences though, but those are expensive. Those are more like a farmer's market is like, you know, $25-$50, or sometimes the farmer's market will want like a percentage of what you make that day. So we try to stay away from those, but
Right. Yeah.
but yeah, so it's usually just, you know, we get there early and she has like her own setup routine. So I just go get coffee at that point, drop her off, go get coffee, come back, and it's done.
And I bet it looks amazing too, by the way. Yeah.
So, but I want to start doing like moving into next year. I want to start doing more and more conferences, at least 2 a year.
I would like to. You're gonna have to let me know, because I would like to attend some of these conferences, honestly, and check them out. You know, another farmers market that I go to in the area, and I don't think there's I don't think it's distance dependent or anything, but it's right here in Market Square in downtown. Man, it's always popping. They have a band going out there and playing. They probably have. I think there's a select number of booths, but I think you guys would do awesome out there. You know, because everybody in the cities, they're healthy.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
And
that's another factor in where we want to do our market, because it's like, are those our target people? Like,
Right.
do those people want to buy into us? Or
Right.
like, we'll see people that walk by and like, I mean, not to,
Right,
put a
yeah,
stereotype,
yeah,
but
it's
it's like, you already know that they don't want anything to do with your product.
Right. I mean, that's like putting a healthy spot right next to Golden Corral, you know. And so
It's not gonna work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So, I could definitely see where that would be a thing. But yeah, no, I don't know if y'all have looked into this area for
Not-
markets.
Not a whole lot.
We've not like actually dug into looking at it. I know we come up here pretty frequently to do different things and
Right.
stuff, and I'll be like, oh, that's probably a good place to do a market, like, because you see all these people running and stuff. They're conscious about their health,
Right.
and generally those are the people that want good quality products.
Our target audience is women in their 30s to 40s wearing spandex. Bro, if they come into the farmers markets wearing spandex, like tight spandex,
Then you know what's up.
you know, I'm like, hey, Kelly, it's about to go
They're
down.
like, Kelly, get up there, bring him
It's
in.
about to go down.
Man, I have some friends that they organize these runs and these 5K events and
Yeah.
things like that. And man, I was just talking to them the other day about. I was like, man, what if you made like a maybe like once every 3 month like market or something, like
That'd be dope.
with these 5Ks. You have all these health people and you have and I was like, I know people that are trying to also get out there. I know a guy that also makes soaps. It's primarily soaps and things like that.
Cool.
And people, like I said, people want good quality, healthy products,
Yep.
and I was like, man, if we could just get all of these people in one spot and like host like
An event, man.
a big event. I was like, man, Spacejumper could host it, and so, I think I'm all about growth. I'm all about like, oh, what's next? And, I think that there's some aspect I used to try to be safe, but man, after even getting this thing together, I'm like, man, it's
dive
the
in.
best way to do it is just to jump,
Yeah.
and then you may be jumping in a pool of sharks, but you're going to find out that there's sharks in there once you're in there, you
Yeah.
know? And so you just either swim away or climb out, And
Yeah,
so,
that's kind of what I like to. I like to do it and figure it out on the way. It's kind of the best way for me, what works best.
right. Yeah. And so another example of that is like, I was going to school, my initial path, I was trying to go to medical school. And so, I did my undergrad, I got my master's in molecular biology. And I was like, I'm going to go into medicine, cause that's where the money is,
Yeah.
And so I got in there and I realized, or not in medical school, but, I got into the hospitals and, kind of had a better insight of how these things worked. And I was like, man, this is not what I want, And so, and that's been the path this whole time. I mean, the past 20 years of my life, that's what I've been working for.
Yeah.
And so I made a couple switches and, made the jump here to Houston, cause I was living in Beaumont, Texas, or China, Texas, it's a small little rice field town, you
Yeah.
know? And so, man, after jumping into Houston from a small town, I was like, oh my God, there's so much opportunity around here, and that's with whatever you do, and when there's people on every block, doing something different, then that's a great place to be if you're trying to run a business,
Absolutely.
So,
Yep.
but yeah, I could give you guys some contacts for some people that go down there in the in Market Square.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
I mean, it's a really nice place, and they get big business, So, but yeah, I could definitely pass that along. I know one of the other guys that I've had a guy on the podcast from that market. His name is Texas Pie Guy. He smokes
dang.
pies. He has these. It's literally, it tastes like a barbecue pie.
Now we're talking.
Yeah, it's on the sugary side and everything
Dude,
like that. But
sounds good though.
but for like for like a Thanksgiving thing to bring to like the families or something,
Yeah.
man, it's an incredible pie. And he brought some over when we did the podcast, and it was, it literally tasted like a pie that had been on the smoker for hours. And,
Hell yeah.
And it was pretty amazing. So anyways, yeah, I could probably give you his contact, and he tell you who to talk to.
That'd be
'cause,
cool. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, we're starting to get into some wholesale stuff too. So working with one of our ambassadors who has an office, and so that'll be our first like wholesale account.
Right.
So.
You know, another spot before you guys leave today is downstairs. There's it's an infrared sauna room.
We saw the sign.
And the lady that owns it, she loves natural products. I mean, loves it. She every time I go in, she's giving me natural dog treats. You know,
Oh, dang.
yeah. And so, you should go talk to her because she has like a little section of like people that have natural products and stuff.
Oh,
and,
that'd be cool.
And they don't have soaps or lotions or beard oils or anything. And
Oh, wow.
and she may be interested in taking some products in too. So
That'd be cool.
But there's so much opportunity around here. Like
for sure.
And the good thing, and I know I'm probably sound like a broken record now, but the good thing of living in a big city is there. I mean, you know, I like to run in the mornings.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm running in like a different area, it may just be me. You know, I may be the only one on the trail, but not here. I mean, I'm probably one of like 10,000. On the trail. I mean, I pass people all the time. Everybody has dogs, and that's another thing. Maybe some dog tallow products would be pretty crazy. I mean,
dope. Some dog body wash.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, because there's. And people are serious about their dogs. Too.
Yeah.
I mean,
real serious.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think what you guys are doing is pretty amazing, and you know, just the jump that you guys took to start making products like this is incredible, because you know, who's doing that? You know, I mean, you know, I'm sure in y'all's world it may be more. You may know somebody or whatever, but I don't. You know, I mean, tallow is the new thing, and it's becoming more popular by the day. So
for sure, man. Yeah. Well, we appreciate it, dude.
Absolutely.
We've had a good time, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys for coming out. Y'all have any plans for the rest of the day in Houston or what?
Probably getting more coffee.
Yeah,
more coffee. My daughter's
if y'all gonna do coffee, try Catalina before y'all go.
All right, we'll try.
Yeah, the coffee shop's great. They specifically don't have Wi-Fi there because they encourage you to come and be social.
Yeah.
But
cool.
it's a small little spot, and I'll give you the address before you
okay.
leave, or probably find it on Google. But John, I really appreciate.
Hey man, I appreciate it. Yeah. Thanks for having us.
Sure, Kelly. I appreciate your time. Yeah, and again, if y'all are ever in the area, let me know.
Will do, man. I appreciate it, dude. Thanks, man.
All right, and we're done.